Hello, my name is Trisha Cole, and my presentation will be on the United Kingdom's exit from the European Union, otherwise known as Brexit. And just to start off, we'll be going briefly over what Brexit was. So on June 23rd, 2016, about 30 million people in the United Kingdom voted to leave the European Union with a vote of 51.9% to 48.1%. And the European Union, it is a union through politics and economics and kind of trade of 28 countries in Europe. The European Union has its own currency, which is known as the euro. There are 19 countries in Europe that have adopted the euro as its currency. And then also known as that citizens in the European Union can travel freely from one European state to another European state. And just immediately after the UK voted to leave the European Union, a couple of things happened. For instance, David Cameron, the Prime Minister, stepped down from his role, and he was then replaced by Theresa May, and she's now the current Prime Minister. Both May and Cameron were against Brexit. And it's also important to note that on March 29th of this year, Theresa May enacted Article 50 under the European Union, which has officially started the UK's process of leaving the European Union. And so until that was done, the United Kingdom actually hadn't officially left the Union yet. And so now, in 2 years' time, the United Kingdom will officially be out of the European Union. And then, so now we'll just go over a few reasons of why Brexit occurred. There's a number of economic reasons. For instance, the European Union, it's been perceived by some that the European Union is failing in its duties for European countries. For instance, it's been noted that since 2008, there has been high unemployment in Europe, especially in southern European countries, whereas northern European countries haven't experienced that as much. But still, all across the board in Europe, there's a concern that the European Union is failing in its duty or its promised duties of providing economic welfare for all of the countries who are a member of the Union. And then the European Union itself is an example of liberalism, being that it's a union to create mutual benefits from economic exchanges for states who are a member of it. And because liberalism also emphasizes mutual cooperation, and that only through mutual cooperation can there be economic benefits, it makes sense that the UK does not want to be a part of the EU anymore, because the UK has begun to favor a more mercantile view or favor towards the economy. For instance, the UK has demonstrated that it's more concerned with its own economic welfare when compared to the benefit of other. So it's willing to sacrifice the economic prosperity of other countries for its own economic prosperity. And so because Britain is more concerned with bolstering its own economy right now, it kind of makes sense that it would want to leave the EU, because if it stays a part of the EU, it'd have to continue the mutual cooperation and wouldn't be able to solely focus on its own economy as much as it would like. And then it's also kind of an example, Brexit, of an overall distrust that people have expressed for organizations internationally, such as the European Union. It's also been expressed through people's distrust of NATO and also the International Monetary Fund, or otherwise known as IMF. And IMF is entails 189 countries in the world. And I know, for example, NATO, the North American Trade Organization, Donald Trump himself has expressed a desire to leave NATO. And so he himself has shown that he does not trust being a part of such an organization either. And he doesn't believe that organizations such as this are mutually beneficial for the U.S. So the U.S. itself has also shown a more mercantile favoritism more than a liberal favoritism. And it's been expected that other countries in the European Union, besides Great Britain, are now going to start exiting the European Union as well. And so it's going to see more of like a worldwide trend of wanting to kind of go away from nationalism and liberalism and go more towards mercantilism and for that.